Oh, yeah, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this little party by the pale moonlight that you found yourself in the middle of this evening, this is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live. So welcome if you're new, and this is where we gather with our fellow friends, fans, and fanatics alike, otherwise known as, by me anyway, the Legion of Michael Myers, which brings me to our returning friends. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday! You made it. We all made it. You made it through another week. You made it through another Monday, and like I always say, that in itself, if nothing else, if the whole rest of your life is shitty, you survived another week, another Monday. We're here to celebrate together. So, here's to you. Thank you for joining me tonight. New blood, returning blood, friends, and everyone else. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm so glad to be here. It is our first Monday of a new month of August, and the countdown is on to H45. We're going to be talking about that. Lots of new, exciting H45 updates. Lots of new, exciting merch updates we're going to talk about, including that massive 25-foot Michael Myers Inflatable. I can't believe they actually made it. It's awesome. We're going to be doing shout-outs at the end of the show and lots more. Also got a fun flashback clip to one of our exclusive video interviews with a very illustrious cast member. But right now, I'm going to take a breath. Well, first I'm going to take a swig of my Mike Myers Monday Mango Twist. That's right. That's right. And then I'm going to check in here, take a breath, and check in on the live chat, because I already see a lot of familiar friends, names, and faces popping up in here, including some illustrious channel members. Got to give special shout out to the HDN Club channel members. It's just $5 a month to join the HDN Club. Become a channel member. There's never been a better time, because in just a few weeks, this month, we're going to be doing our first ever channel member exclusive live stream. It's going to be a very informal hangout. We're going to have fun. I'm going to have some digital giveaways. It's going to be cool. So think about doing that. But I see Lurch is in the house, one of our channel members, checking in early tonight. Brett Patrick as well, another illustrious channel member. And one of our newer channel members, Michael Boogie Braun, is here as well. I saw Megan checked in early today. Megan Wagner, of course, one of our regular viewers. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Megan. Quadruple M to you. Camp Blood checked in as well. Camp Blood Collections. Phil is in the house. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Dark Man, lighting it up. I love to see it. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Joseph the Har Guy. Good to see you in here, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. I'm sorry I can't stay. Hope y'all have a good rest of your night. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Joseph. Thanks for checking in. Let's see. Team Wolf checking in. Of course, it wouldn't be Michael Myers Monday Live without I Was a Teenage Teen Wolf. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well this week. Jason Yost in the house. Happy Triple M to you as well. Josh Baker Videos is in the house as well. Awesome. I love to see it. Puppet Masters here. What's up? Welcome. Let's see. Who else? David Suber, of course. Lighting them up. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Dave. Rob Windsor has checked in. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you, sir. Let's see who else is in the house. Halloween Vibes checking in. Josh getting his Ghostface costume ready for Haunted Screams Expo this September in Hampton, Virginia. We'll be there as well. And let's see. We got a pretty good amount of people filtering in here, getting the word. Awesome. Well, I think you guys are here on a fun night. Again, we don't have a ton of breaking news, but we do have some very significant updates regarding 45 Years of Terror that we're going to talk about. Some very cool guest announcements. And tickets for Sean Clark's Horror's Hallowed Grounds Locations bus tour, of course, went on sale and promptly sold out very quickly as well. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And maybe most exciting of all of that is regarding 45 Years of Terror anyway, is we actually have a panel schedule to look at tonight. So we're going to dive into all that. That's going to be our top story this evening, and then we're going to be taking a look at some other news bites that we can chew on and digest and discuss and kick back and forth together. But again, we're just going to take it kind of easy tonight. I'm not going to do a show and tell to kick things off. I have shared some photos just in recent weeks on our socials of the Halloween 2018 mask. We got a new batch in. They look great. The best-selling Michael Myers mask of all time, and we've got them in stock. So if you need a copy, if you still don't have a copy, or if you need a new copy, maybe because you want to take a fresh copy to Pasadena this fall and get some autographs on that sucker, well, we got them in stock. And I will remind you right now, special just for the Triple M crew watching these live streams on Monday night. We haven't gone public with this sale yet, but all currently in stock Michael Myers masks. That includes 2018 kills and ends. We have all 3 of them in stock right now. All of them you can get $3 off with discount code Triple M Crew 3. That's MMMCREW3, the number 3. Triple M Crew 3. You get $3 off any or all of those masks. Also, our H2 Michael and Laurie collectible figures. You can get $3 off of them as well. That's a special just for you guys watching the Michael Myers Monday live stream. And that you can find that merch at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, or just follow the links in the description of this video when we're done here. Don't go anywhere right now, though. Another illustrious channel member and Michael Myers Monday live friend of the family, Andromeda 1741 in the house, still driving. Drive careful. Don't let us cause an accident because you're laughing so hard at my babbling stupidly. Hopefully not too stupidly tonight, but we'll try to keep it in check. Rob, thank you for the compliment on the shirt. Yep, rocking some HK. We do have a pretty cool HK guest added to 45 that I want to talk about tonight. And I just love HK. Anytime's a good time to rock some HK. All right. Well, as people are continuing to filter in, what we're going to do, because like I said, normally we start these with a show and tell. We're not going to do that. Check out those recent photos of the 2018 for tonight's show and tell in lieu of. But what we are going to do to kick off tonight's show is we're going to go over last week's poll results and go ahead and launch this week's poll. And sometimes I like doing this at the top of the show because then it gives us more food for discussion, so to speak. So, going back to last week's poll, we asked, what is your favorite Michael Myers mask featured in the franchise movies? Now, my choices were somewhat controversial because I did list, and I debated this, I listed Halloween 78 and Halloween 281 as one option because technically Dick Warlock is wearing one of the masks that they made for 78. Although it looks very different on Dick Warlock's head versus Nick Castle's. But maybe that was loading that one as an undefeatable favorite from the top anyway. In any case, that was the clear winner. No surprise there. 127 votes total. Halloween 78 / Halloween 281 mask, the original, takes first place with 75% of the vote. In a distant second, though, but respectable considering what everybody else got, Halloween 2018 gets 16% of the vote. And that is followed way down the line with Halloween Ends in third place with just 5%. Curse of Michael Myers, just 2%. And that's preceded actually in fourth place by Halloween 07. Rob Zombie's Halloween 07 with 3% of the votes. And we will look at these comments real quick. Matthew Ryan 8791 says definitely the original mask. Can't go without an honorable mention to the new movies. The age look and the burnt look were badass. I do agree. you can't beat the original, but the I love Christopher Nelson and his team's work on the masks throughout this most recent trilogy. Absolutely. And replying to Matthew's post, Horta Casey says 2018 was beautiful. Just how atrocious kills and ends were as films, it's hard to even include those. Well, we're not asking about your opinion of the films in this particular poll, but maybe if you can't remove it from how the mask looks, I understand that not everybody can. Horta Casey says, considering the Castle Warlock stretch argument, 78 and 81 should be two different options. See, you guys tell me what you think. Maybe I should have made them two different options. I'm just thinking they are, technically the same mold, same mask. That H2 was used in H1 somewhere. So, but I get it that that might have been a little unfair to put those together like that. Joseph the Horror Guy says Halloween 4 and 5 has great Michael Myers masks. And Doomsgate says Prestige mask from Dead by Daylight. Now, I like the write-in answer for a Dead by Daylight vote. I do like that. I appreciate it. But on a technicality, while I like that choice, we did ask specifically as featured in the franchise movies, not in the franchise period. But I totally appreciate the comment and the vote for the Dead by Daylight Prestige mask. All right. As we've been talking 5 minutes ago, we went ahead and launched this week's Michael Myers Monday poll question. Now, for this week, and honestly, we might have asked this one before. It's an easy one to get lost in, and the choices are almost endless. But we are asking the oft-debated question of the entire franchise now, 13 films, 45 years. What is your favorite Michael Myers kill of all time? Now, obviously, YouTube only allows me to put 5 options in the poll. You can, of course, write in yours because there's only 5 options here, and I had to put most of those, fill most of those with the original, like Judith from the original Halloween 78. How about Bob from the original Halloween 78? Linda from Halloween 78. That's my personal favorite. I've said it before here. How about Nurse Karen from Halloween 2, 81? Or you want something more recent? How about Dr. Sartain from Halloween 2018? Remember, boot to the brain on Sartain. You can find our Michael Myers Monday poll questions every week, every Monday in the community tab here on the HDN YouTube channel. Like I said, cast your votes and then comment below, explain your answer, and obviously if your answer is not among those 5 options, then please write it in and back it up with your argument why it is the ultimate best Michael Myers kill of all time. And those of you watching right now live here in the live chat are more than welcome to chime in with your answers right now as we are talking. So let's open that up. This week's poll question: what is your all-time favorite kill? We are celebrating this milestone. I was looking at it. This is our first Monday of August. We got 4 Mondays this month, and then we got 4 Mondays next month before Pasadena, before H45. So it is pretty much almost upon us, guys. It is getting real. It is getting crazy. How's everybody doing out there this week? Let's see here. Teen Wolf says the castle stretch was even a thing with the 2018 mask. Nick and James tried on the mask together on camera, and you definitely see the differences between them. Oh, absolutely. You can see the difference in the 2018 with both of them. that cast will stretch. It's going to stretch every time, it seems. It wouldn't be the cast will stretch otherwise, right? Let's see. Jason Yost says, wouldn't separate H1, H2 mask due to Castle and Warlock's head shape. It's the same mask regardless. That's what I was thinking. That's why I ultimately didn't separate them in the options, because that's kind of my feeling. It is ultimately the same mask, whether or not, how it looks on either one. I mean, to me, Dick Warlock is wearing an H1 mask. So that's ultimately what I went with. So thank you for backing up my ultimate decision there, Jason. Al's Horror says, sad day for horror. Oh, yes, let's pour one out. Thank you for bringing that up, Al. Yes, of course, the great William Friedkin, director of The Exorcist. I mean, extra tragic because this year marking the 50th anniversary of The Exorcist, the classic Exorcist, which was nominated for Oscars. And of course, we are getting David Gordon Green's Legacy sequel this Halloween, opening on Friday the 13th of October. So yeah, let's remember William Friedkin here for just a second. If we can step outside of Haddonfield for just a second, the man that brought Pazuzu to the screen and just revolutionized. And I saw Steve Barton on Creepy's IG post earlier today, and it was something to the effect of, I'm paraphrasing here, but how amazing it is to make a film that's so perfect and so scary that in 50 years, every other film that's tried to do something similar, meaning any Exorcist film ever, has been paled in comparison to the original Exorcist, including the sequels, including, I'm sure, the upcoming Legacy sequels, including other franchises, other films that aren't even related to that franchise. Anybody that does an Exorcist movie, a possession movie, it always goes back to that, and that is a testament to how masterful that film is. And of course, it's not his only film; he did many others, but that for us here, us horror fans, as Al says, So to William Friedkin. All right, guys. So before we get into our new merch roundup this week, Michael Myers Monday merch roundup, we've got some news, some H45 news. So let's break this down. All right, since our last gathering in the last week, since last Monday, we have received some exciting news and updates regarding 45 Years of Terror. This is, of course, the epic Halloween franchise reunion event celebrating 45 years since the release of John Carpenter's original Halloween, and it's going to celebrate all 13 films with all the Michael Myers actors that have ever worn the mask. They're going to be gathered in one place. It's going to be amazing. And the guest list just keeps on growing. It's already just amazing what we've already talked about. But now, since our last report, 3 more guests have been added. And these are all first-time guests as far as a first-time guest to a Halloween reunion convention, and as well as first time to the horror convention scene in general. So let's check these out real quick. All right, so first up, from Halloween Ends, Jesse C. Boyd, who played Officer Mulaney in Halloween Ends. This will mark Jesse's first ever convention appearance. And obviously, Officer Mulaney, he ties in to the flashback to 78 with the Mulaney bullies bullying Lonnie after he was bullying Tommy earlier in the day. That's all from Halloween Kills. He's related to those Mulaney's. He is Officer Mulaney. It's alluded to that he did have somewhat of a pseudo-romantic relationship with Allison at a certain point before Corey comes along and ruins his chances with Allison. And it is Jesse that in many ways provides the blood, if you will, to wake Michael up and get him back into good killing shape. So not only is this Jesse's first time ever at a Halloween reunion event, it is his first ever convention appearance ever at any fan signing event. So very cool. And I love the love that the new movies are getting, because obviously these movies, none of them had been released in 2018. We were just days away from the release of the 2018 film, but the only cast members from that film that appeared 5 years ago at the 2018 convention were James Jude Courtney and, well, Nick Castle and Rhian Reese. So very cool that we're getting a lot from these more recent films. Now, this guest announcement is pretty amazing. Making his first ever convention signing appearance, Brent LePage, the original Lonnie Elam from John Carpenter's classic 1978 Halloween. How in 45 years Brent LePage has never appeared at a convention, never appeared at one of these Halloween reunion events. This is truly an epic ad, if you ask me. Lonnie is one of those iconic, memorable characters from the original film. It is such a part of the narrative. He's talked about between Tommy and Laurie before he's even on screen. They're setting up this Lonnie Elam. He's a bully. And then he has his run-in at the Myers house with Loomis. And then, of course, the character revisited so brilliantly with Halloween Kills. So if we're going to have Brent LePage making his first ever convention appearance, the original Lonnie, of course it only makes sense that the newest Lonnie, the adult Lonnie from Halloween Kills, Robert Longstreet, also making his first ever convention appearance. These ads are pretty epic, if you ask me. I thought Robert Longstreet did a really good job embodying an adult version of what we imagine Lonnie may be. I wondered at the time, did they try to find Brent LePage? Did an offer ever go out or anything? I'm very curious about that. But in any case, definitely cool, if you ask me, that we have the original Lonnie and Brent LePage, and we have adult Lonnie from Halloween Kills and Robert Longstreet. Now, I have to I have to just step back from the news for just a second and remind everybody that there is a third Lonnie. And I don't know if 45 Years of Terror are going to be able to book him or not. I actually sent Sean a text earlier today. I don't know. He hadn't gotten back to me yet, but there is a third Lonnie. If you'll remember, during those flashback scenes, a young man named Tristan Eggerling plays young Lonnie, also in Halloween Kills. And I will use this opportunity, you knew it was coming, to plug my exclusive interview with Tristan Eggerling that dropped in October of 2021. Now, this is not a video interview. This is a written interview. I did put the link in the description of this video. But Tristan is very cool. I thought he embodied Lonnie really well. Of course, everybody seemed to love those flashback scenes. So I'm hoping that they complete this circle of Lonnie Elam. And I guess the real completion of it now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this. We need Tristan to have all the Lonnies, but we've got to have Cameron. right? Right? We've got to get Cameron booked for this as well. So there we go. There's the challenge, Sean, to complete the Elam family tree. But there's young Tristan at the HK premiere, and I absolutely love his outfit that he wore at that premiere. He talks about that outfit and some of the very cool hidden Easter eggs in the film that you might not have caught. But Tristan talks about that, including details that you might not have even noticed, like the exact candy that his young Lonnie has in his trick-or-treat pail. I won't spoil it here. Go read my exclusive interview with Tristan Eggerling on playing young Lonnie Elam in Halloween Kills at the link in the description of this video. Now, that is, of course, not the only bit of H45 news. In addition to those new guest announcements, tickets went on sale for the highly anticipated 2023 H45 edition of Horror's Hallowed Grounds. It should be Haddonfield's Hallowed Grounds, I think, maybe more fittingly when it comes to this version of the filming locations tour, because it's all filming locations from this franchise. Of course, our buddy Sean Clark, you know him as host of the Horror's Hallowed Grounds series. The bus tour is happening on Friday, September 29th. It's technically the kickoff event that leads into the convention itself, which is a 2-day convention. That happens Saturday and Sunday, September 30th and October 1st at Pasadena Convention Center. Well, the whole event kicks off that Friday, actually, with the bus tour, which I believe it leaves at like 9 a.m., something like that. So tickets went on sale just a few days ago. On Friday, as a matter of fact, August 5th, they went on sale for VIP ticket holders. And VIPs had a 24-hour window to purchase their tickets. And they promptly purchased all of the deluxe bus tickets, which is going to include an added stop, and will have Sean Clark himself doing the tour guide duties. Those deluxe bus tickets were completely snatched up by the VIP ticket holders in a matter of minutes, and about half of the regular bus tour tickets, which I believe were priced at $150 as opposed to the deluxe, which was $200, they were left for the general public and went on sale Saturday afternoon at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, since then, it was within the first 24 hours or so of that sale, all available tickets for the bus tour completely sold out. So if you think people aren't excited for this 45 Years of Terror event, I mean, just look at how fast these tickets are going. Now, I know there is concern, and I've seen your comments already here tonight about scalpers. There was concern about that with the initial ticket drop for the convention itself. And we did see some of that again, like minutes after the VIP bus tours are sold out. People are saying, I can't go. I need to sell these. It's hard to believe that somebody would buy tickets for something and then 15 minutes later realize that they can't attend. But, I'm going to be remiss if I don't say this. Let me back up. There's one more awesome guest announcement that we have to mention tonight, and she is an illustrious guest announcement. Last but certainly not least for this evening, our friend Diva Tyler, who plays Sandra, the cemetery caretaker. She appears in all three of the most recent films, in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and in Halloween Ends. She is amazing. Diva Tyler has been added to the guest lineup for 45 Years of Terror. Very excited for this. I had the pleasure of interviewing Diva on the eve of the Hollywood premiere of Halloween Kills. We actually did the interview via Zoom in October of 2021, and it was the night before she was getting on a plane to fly out to LA for the big premiere, and she was kind enough to give me some of her time in the middle of all that craziness and excitement, and I'm very excited to to hear that Diva has been added to this lineup, and she should be. I mean, she's one of the few people, one of the few survivors to survive all three of the most recent films, and one of the few survivors ever in the history of this franchise to survive an attack from Michael Myers, much less one as brutal as we saw in Kills. So, very cool to have Diva Tyler added to this. And, of course, I would be remiss if I would not plug my interview. You can find a link to that interview, my exclusive interview with Diva Tyler from 2021, in the description of this video. All right. So there's the guest updates. And there's the Horror's Hallowed Ground update. Let me know in the comments and here in the live chat if you got your tickets for the bus tour. Now, Sean did post on his socials yesterday that he is considering adding another bus because, again, it sold out in less than 24 hours. So I would go to Sean Clark's Facebook or Instagram, comment on those posts if you want another bus to be added. It sounds like that is possible and that he is going to work with people. And in this case, he's going to be contacting you directly if that happens. So to try to avoid the whole scalper situation, it sounds like. So I like that they're trying to address it head on and just take matters into their own hands. So if you didn't get your tickets, I want to hear from you, but definitely you want to go comment on that post and maybe he'll add another bus or two so that everybody can be a part of this in some way. Now, we have another update on 45 Years of Terror because on the official website at Halloween45.com, we have a schedule of events, a preliminary schedule of events. But what we have here is the panel schedule. Yes, very exciting. So we're going to go over here right now so you can take a look at what I'm looking at, and we'll just go through it. Obviously, like I said, the Friday events is Horror's Hallowed Grounds Bus Tour. That's your Friday event. The first panel on Saturday will begin at noon, and it will be a Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers panel. Now, it says hosted by TVA. That's what these all say, because we talked earlier that Sean was mentioning on a recent episode of The Thing with Two Heads that this year there will be special guest moderators. People, for instance, he mentioned Spencer from Ice Nine Kills will be one of the moderators. I don't know. I'm just guessing Spencer will probably be moderating the 2018 trilogy panel, but we'll get to that in just a second. In any case, very interesting to me that they're beginning. The first panel of this weekend is an H6 panel. Very, very interesting and curious that that's the one they would begin with. Of course, I immediately began thinking, well, why would that be? Could it be because there's going to be an extra big amount of guests, a significant guests from that film, maybe? I don't think Paul Rudd is going to be appearing at 45 Years of Terror, but my mind did go there for a second, and oh my God, you guys, could you imagine if we had Paul Rudd at an H6 panel to kick off the event? I mean, it is his first feature film. Clueless was released before Curse, but he did shoot Curse before Clueless. It is his feature debut. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Or is it just some love for Curse? You guys let me know what you think about the fact that they're kicking off with a Curse of Michael Myers panel. Now, let's go through the rest of the schedule. At 1 p.m., there's a Masks of Myers panel. That should be very interesting. And it'll also be very interesting to see who they put up on that panel. I'm guessing they'll probably have people like Christopher Nelson, like Justin Mabry, like Vincent Van Dyke. I'd love if they would have maybe Wayne Toth up there as well. You know, he designed Rob Zombie's masks. I'd love Christopher and Wayne Toth. And of course they're going to have Tommy Lee Wallace up there because he designed the original, obviously. But how cool would it be to have Tommy and Christopher and Wayne Toth all up there, and some of the other team members from these films as well. So that should be cool. At 2 p.m., they have a live podcast listed. A live podcast. Now, who will that podcast be? Well, like all of these moderators, the podcast is to be announced. So, could it be a live episode of The Thing with Two Heads? Sean and Christopher will both obviously be there. I think it's possible, but I think that's probably a little bit less likely. I mean, they did say on their episode, Sean anticipates they'd be pretty busy. I think they're probably going to be pretty busy. At least Sean will. At least too busy and distracted to really sit down and try to do what they do in front of a live audience, especially here at 2 p.m. in the middle of the day. If anything, that would be like an after-hours event, I would think, if they were going to do something like that. On the other hand, though, there is our friends, Scout and Danielle, Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris. They have their podcasts, Talk Scary to Me. They have done a few live broadcasts at convention appearances, so I do very much think that that's a very strong possibility that could be the live broadcast, the live podcast that they're going to record at 2 p.m. on Saturday. But in any case, we'll have to wait and find out. Maybe it's something I'm not even thinking of. Maybe it's something unrelated. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is Talk Scary to Me. That would make a lot of sense, and that would be pretty cool because you could imagine the type guests that Scout and Danielle could then bring on. In other words, they could take their pick because there's going to be everybody there right in the next room. So, very cool. Continuing on the Saturday events, at 4 p.m., the Halloween 2 panel. This is a hard one not to attend because you will remember 5 years ago at 2018, it was the Halloween 2 panel where we saw that surprise proposal, Love in Haddonfield, at the H2 panel. You can watch the video elsewhere on this channel. We've shared it many times, but the H2 panel, always a good time, and you never know what's going to happen at any of these. It's hard to, we can't be at every one of them because obviously we can't be at the panels all day. Otherwise, we'd never be on the convention floor. We got to pick and choose certain ones. It's going to be tough. I don't know which ones we're going to be at. I don't know if we're going to split the team up a little bit sometimes. We don't like doing that, but every now and then it might be necessary. You guys tell me what you're thinking, how you're going to budget your time on the 2 days, because all of these panels sound really awesome. Moving right along, at 5 p.m., the final panel for Saturday will be the Halloween 2018 Trilogy panel. That will be the Halloween 2018 Kills and Ends panel. That one, I think I'm probably going to have to be at. Just looking at this list now, that one might be my priority panel for Saturday, as a matter of fact. But you guys give me your thoughts and kind of your priority list as you're seeing this schedule. Moving into Sunday now. Kicking it off on Sunday at noon, there is a Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers panel. Now, again, this is a bit curious to me. They're starting with specifically Halloween 4. It's not a Halloween 4, 5, and 6 panel. We've seen those in years past, or even a Halloween 4 and 5 panel. Nope, this is specifically H4. Now, I do kind of get the H4 a little bit more than the H6, if only because if it's the 45th anniversary of the original Halloween, that means it's the 35th anniversary of H4, just like it is the 25th anniversary of H2O. So I do understand there's a landmark anniversary for that specific film, H4, and it is an entry point for an entire generation. But curious that they're not going to put Don Shanks up there. Just curious. That will be followed at 1 p.m. on Sunday by the Rob Zombie's Halloween NH2 panel. So they will cover both the zombie films in that one panel. At 2 p.m., a merchandising Myers panel. So again, I'm imagining, I don't know who will be on this panel, but just looking at some of the vendors that are going to be there on the convention floor already, I would imagine they would have people like Chris Zeffro, the head of Trick or Treat Studios. They're going to have Ben from Fright Rags up there. Maybe somebody representing NECA, some of these other gutter garbs, the heads and representatives of some of these brands that are putting out some of the best Myers-related merch out there. So that sounds like a very interesting panel as well. At 3 p.m., easy to remember, 3 p.m. will be the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch panel. That's right, 3 p.m. on Sunday. And then wrapping it all up at 4 p.m. on Sunday, the final panel of the evening will be the Halloween 78 panel. This is the same way they wrapped it up in 2018 as well, saving the granddaddy of them all for last. Now, there will be after-hours events on both nights as well. As you can see here, on Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m., there will be an after-hour event to be announced. And starting at 9 p.m., there will be a different after-hour events. Oh, the entertainment begins at 9. That's what it is. So the entertainment to be announced begins at 9 p.m., and that will be free for VIPs and a $10 cover for everybody else. So very cool that non-VIPs can get in for a very reasonable price. $10, not a bad cover price. Unfortunately, though, it sounds like it's probably not going to be entertainment by John Carpenter performing an intimate show during the VIP party, because I doubt the cover charge would be $10 if that were the case. But in any case, I'm sure it'll be awesome, whatever it is. And that'll be a fun gathering after the craziness of Saturday. And then Sunday, after convention hours, the after-hours event that will wrap up the entire weekend will be Drinks with Tom Atkins at the actual bar where H3 was filmed and where his character is seen, having a few drinks, talking to Ellie, and watching that Michael Myers Halloween 78 commercial on TV as well. So very cool to see this schedule of events. Now, of course, all panels are subject to change, and they may. Convention hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Excuse me. That's for VIP admission. Convention hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. VIP ticket holders can get in 1 hour earlier at 10 a.m. both days. So a little bit curious that, again, I see an H6 panel and an H4 panel, dedicated panels to those two movies, but no H2O panel, even though this is the 25th anniversary of that film. That's a little bit curious to me. Very happy to see the 2018 trilogy getting its own panel. I figured it would. No big surprise there, but still very cool nonetheless. All right. I'm going to take a breath and a drink, and you guys tell me what you think of that schedule, what we're looking at like. Brett says Paul Rudd isn't shy from conventions. He was here in Chicago at C2E2. He sent a lot of H6 stuff, which was really cool to see. Yeah, I don't think he has a problem meeting fans and talking about H6 and owning his place in it. Of course, if we're going to have Paul Rudd, then we have Anthony Michael Hall already booked. So that's 2 Tommy Doyles. We got to get the original Brian Andrews in there too, right? We got to have all the Tommies. If we're having 2, we got to have all 3, right? The Buccaneer, yes. Thank you, Brett. Yes, Drinks with Atkins will be at the Buccaneer. That's right. Teen Wolf wants to go to the Curse panel. Probably my favorite of the Thorn Tide films, she said. Tied with 4. Jason said it's really shaping up to be a great convention. It is. It is shaping up to be the ultimate shape convention of all time, for sure. Very exciting, though, to see the schedule. I did not expect to see a panel schedule up this early. Again, like I said, we're about 8 weeks out. So I did really not expect to see a panel schedule up this early. But, as it says, it could very well change. But kind of cool to see where they're headed with it right now. Byron has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome, welcome. Darlene as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Good to see you guys. Oh, yes, and Tommy from the remake. Yes, yes. And he, what is his name? Is it Skylar Galonzo, I think? He plays Gideon on The Righteous Gemstones. He's awesome in that. I saw some rumors he might play the new Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman movie. Anyway, he's awesome. Yeah, let's get him as well. I'm going to have to send Sean a text about him as well. I'm sure he's on it. But, all right. Let's move in to some merch news, because we have some merch news this week. We did a dedicated video on this as soon as I got the press release on Friday, because we just couldn't wait. This was too cool and too big not to talk about immediately. And when I say big, I mean huge. And I don't say that lightly. This is the new, officially licensed 25-foot Michael Myers inflatable. It is officially licensed from John Carpenter's Halloween, and it stands at a truly towering 25 feet tall. We got this press release from HalloweenCostumes.com, letting us know that they were taking pre-orders on this giant and 2 others. Again, the smallest one you see in this photo is 8 feet tall. They've also got a mid-sized one, which towers over most of the other giant animatronics and inflatables on the market, which is 15 feet tall. And then there's that massive 25-footer. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on these inflatables. I mean, the 25-footer is awesome, and Malik totally needs to have one out in front of the convention center for age 45, right? But man, having it at your house, could you imagine the stakes and the ties and how much you'd have to secure it? I worry about wind. We get a lot of wind. We get a lot of storms here where we're at on the Outer Banks. Even that 8-footer, as tiny as he looks in this photo, that 8-footer would tower over our currently tallest inflatable that we own, I believe. Or it would at least be equal to it. These things are awesome, though. I mean, they are just badass. And I can't wait to see them out in person. I have to believe that they are made of a tougher, thicker vinyl than just your typical inflatable. I would hope so. But can you imagine the motor that the big 25-footer has to have to keep the air pumping the whole time? Now, that big one is priced at $500, which is definitely out of my price range, probably out of some of yours, and it seems a little steep at first, but then you start thinking about it. I mean, 25 foot, that is bigger than a lot of people's houses. That is bigger than most anything else like that that's out there right now. So when you start considering that, it's not totally unreasonable. But there is the 15 footer for 300, or the more modest 8 footer for 120. All right, collectors, Brett and Patrick, and you guys, or are you getting all three? I cannot wait to see one of these in person out there in the wild, or like I said, hopefully at 45 Years of Terror. Rob says a small car engine for the 25 footer. That's what I was saying. I mean, it would probably take that, I think. Jason says he'll buy all of them. Nice. Teen Wolf says John's probably laughing his butt off at the size of this thing. I hope so. And that's the other thing. I love that it's officially licensed from the original Halloween. We don't, a lot of these inflatables, they're officially licensed from Halloween 2. A lot of the more recent stuff that Universal is licensing, they're licensing the 81 film, Halloween 2. There's a lot of stuff licensed from Curse and Resurrection and H2O. But to see it technically officially licensed from John Carpenter's. Like I said, that 25 footer, I mean, the 8 footer would probably be reasonable and doable here at our headquarters. And 120 is not too bad for that, I guess. But man, that 25 footer, I want to see one in person. That's right, Rob. The electric company will love us for sure. Camp Blood wants the 25 footer. Yeah. Hell yeah. Rob says 2018 trilogy and the H1 panels are a must. Yeah, I think they're probably the top two for me too. I mean, you can't miss the original, and yeah, of all the ones on day one, that 2018 panel is probably the can't miss one for me. And we do have a little bit more merch news I want to hit on real quick. Gutter Garbs, after their release last week on Michael Myers Monday of some H78 45th anniversary t-shirts, today on Michael Myers Monday they released these 3 new H2 t-shirts, each retailing for $30 each from Gutter Garbs. I did put a link to this collection in the description of this video before we started, but I really like all of these designs. Really, you guys know how much I love H2. I think we all do. This, just a great idea. That great scene when Michael Myers just walks right through the glass door into the hospital. This is a great way to capture it in image we've never seen before. Really like this design. And this was the one that they actually put out as a teaser image, just a bit of the mask, and I was blown away because it looks almost like a photo. It looks so good. But I love how the mask looks. I love the red tint to everything. And it's H2 Dick Warlock Michael Myers. What's not love? He's got his scalpel. It's badass. But as much as I love those two, it's this third one that is my favorite of the bunch. Oh my God, this is wicked. I mean, I have always loved the H2 poster. If I got to pick one poster from this franchise, it's probably the H2 because of that wicked cool skull pumpkin. And here they've taken that and just literally lit it on fire, made it more monstrous, more badass than ever. I love this design. Really love this design a lot. I think I need this t-shirt. This is just wicked cool. One of the coolest t-shirt designs I think I've ever seen for this franchise. Definitely for H2, but just for the whole franchise. I love it. Just epic. Let me know what you think about those t-shirt designs. Let me jump over here and look into the live chat. Brett's afraid somebody will mess with the inflatable or it possibly ripping. Yeah, that would. I mean, yeah, that would be a real worry. I mean, I'm curious again of the material, of the ties, of all that stuff. But I just can't believe they actually made it. You know, they actually made one. It's like they did it. They finally did it. Because we've seen those photos and those memes and stuff in recent years of like these giant Michael Myers inflatables that are bigger than somebody's house that, you know, somebody made or was custom made or maybe it was photoshopped. But this is the real deal. The official. I mean, when they sent us that press release, I about jumped out of my skin. Like, what? Are you crazy? This is awesome. So again, Halloween costumes. If you got any extra of those 25 footers and you want to throw us one to do a product review and unboxing and showcase and all that, yeah, I think we could find room and make that happen. Teen Wolf still excited for the upcoming Loungefly H2 mini backpacks. Yep, the backpacks are coming, and there is more merch up on spirithalloween.com. I'm not going to get into it this week. We'll save that for next week. An interesting H2 costume, though, with a new H2 mask. I don't know who makes it. Doesn't look like the Trick or Treat Studios one, though, so I don't know what's up with that. But we'll get into that next week because I do want to play a flashback video, and we've got shout-outs still to go. Rob says the third shirt will get 2, no question. It's in my cart now. Awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, I love that third shirt. Before we get into this week's throwback video, and before we do our shout outs, our official shout outs, I guess this is technically the first shout out of the evening, but look at what Mr. Christopher Nelson shared on his Instagram today for Michael Myers Monday. So again, shout out to Christopher Nelson. He says, for Michael Myers Monday, my initial design for the unmasked Myers makeup done in Procreate. So this is what Christopher did as his very first initial design concept for what Michael would look like under the mask in Ends, the shape unmasked, concept number 1, circa 2020, that he created in Procreate. This is a stunning difference in what we see in the movie and also what we've seen in the behind the scenes of what was actually applied to James as far as the prosthetics. This is creepy as hell, though. Disturbing, gross, very, very realistic, though. I mean, you look at all of the wounds, the scarring, everything about that is realistic. I mean, the way his lips have kind of just rotted away. Um, I'm a little speechless just staring at this. It is a haunting image, to say the least. And I absolutely love that we are still getting amazing behind-the-scenes content like this from these films, and I hope it continues. And we love Christopher for sharing it for Michael Myers Monday, as he says in the text of this post. All right, give me your thoughts on this unused concept art of the Shape unmasked from Halloween Ends. Brett says, gives me Jason Voorhees vibes. It does a bit. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, there's not much James Jude Courtney in that Procreate design that I can see, but I could see it applied to James and visualize it in my head. Josh says, Michael here's looking rough. Yeah. Teen Wolf says, that face looks creepy, though it doesn't fit Michael. Yeah, I think that's probably why they went a little bit more away from it. And not even that we see much of James unmasked anyway, but we've seen good up-close pictures of him in the prosthetics since in the months since the film's release. Looks more like a cannibal from Wrong Turn, kinda, yeah. I agree with Brad. A little more Jason vibes than Michael. Yeah, Josh says, looks great, but glad they didn't go that route. Yeah. I think that's kind of my thought, too. I mean, I love seeing this stuff and these, what could have been or would have been or might have been, and just seeing what the thought process was or what it evolved from. So cool. All right, before we get to tonight's shout-outs, I do want to play a flashback video. You know, we are celebrating 45 years of this franchise, counting down to this big event in Pasadena, and also just celebrating our own history. You know, last year was our 10th anniversary since launching HDN in 2012, and we're sharing stuff from our archives, some photos and videos, and looking back at some of our own exclusive interviews with various cast members from over the years as part of our retrospective of looking back. And so tonight, we're going to go back to 2021, early 2021, when I had the pleasure of interviewing Sandy Johnson. Now, this was one of my very first Zoom interviews, so you'll hear a lot of ums and ahs and, not that I do much less of that now, today, and even the most recent interviews, like as of last week. There's still plenty of that ums and ahs and blah, 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 blah. But there's even more of it in this one, so you'll just have to excuse that. But Sandy was great. Of course, she's Michael Myers' first victim, Judith Myers. And we talk in this clip about her work in '78. So the clip's about 7 minutes long. And I did put the link to the full interview in the description of this video. If you haven't watched it yet, please go check it out. Sandy is amazing. Had a great time talking to her. Of course, she is already an announced guest for H45. So we're going to play this clip right now. I'll still be right here in the live chat. I'll chime in from time to time if need be. And otherwise, you guys enjoy this clip from my exclusive conversation with Sandy Johnson on playing Judith Myers in the original Halloween. Check it out. How did you first become involved with Halloween 1978?
I was with an agency, a modeling agency. Uh-oh, I've got incoming cat.
Uh-oh.
Incoming big boy. I was doing, I had done another film, and I was doing some theater and different things. So it was just another call that came in from my agency for a horror movie. And so that's how I got it. My agent just called me and said they want to interview you. So I went and I interviewed in a house that was close to the Myers house. Might have actually been one of the houses they filmed in, but I'm not real sure. But the house was there somewhere. And they interviewed me. I read several parts. And I think they called like the next day, they called my agent and said that they wanted me to play Judith.
Oh, wow. So, did you know anything as far as the storyline going in, who Judith was in relation to the story, or had you seen the script or anything like that?
No, of course, the script was still very coveted, I'm sure. And I did not know that Michael was going to grow up to be the ultimate slasher.
Sure.
So when I went to the premiere, which was nothing like the premieres today, but it was basically just the cast and some family and crew and stuff. And I was sitting there and it went to the scenes after my scene, and it was just like, oh my God, this is terrifying. And so it scared the hell out of me. And I really didn't know what was going to happen. So that was actually kind of cool. I'm glad I didn't.
Excellent. Well, that's something else I was going to ask about, what you thought the first time you saw it. But even before that, talking about the shoot itself, because I'm just super curious, obviously being a huge fan of the film, and we've all, watched it a million times, and we watch it every year at least once every year. Most of our audience does, I think they can relate, and we've all watched that famous opening sequence, not just one of the most famous sequences and moments in the Halloween franchise, but really in horror cinema and cinema at large, and certainly in Halloween lore. So, but on the actual filming of it, so you went to the audition, and then you got word that they wanted you for Judith. So, was it just really soon after that, like days after that you were on set?
Yes, I don't think it was very long, maybe a few days, maybe a week.
Okay.
And yeah, it was pretty quick.
And were you on set just one day, or how long? How many days do you remember?
I think it was just one day. And they were still fixing up the house because it was dilapidated, for most of the movie. And even though my scene is first, it was actually one of the last ones filmed.
Okay.
So they had to fix up the house. So they were, doing things to make the house look new and lived in and all that stuff. At the same time, we were going through the lines and working with John and Deborah just to practice it. It was a really complicated scene, as you know. It was a very long shot all the way from the front of the house, around the house, through the house, the makeout scene, up the stairs. I mean, it was a lot going on. Yes. And so we ran through it several times, but we actually only did 2 takes.
Oh, wow. So a lot of rehearsal, I guess, but actual shooting, it was 2 takes and they got it. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. And so, like you said, I mean, one of the most famous sequences with the steady shot, and I interviewed Dean Cundy, the cinematographer, a few years ago, and we talked a lot about that. So you remember the prep and the detail and basically the choreography, I guess you could call it.
I do. And I remember that everybody was talking about that camera. It was a really big deal. It was fairly new, I guess. So everybody was real excited to have that camera on set and to do that really long shot. So it was exciting.
Awesome. Awesome. And do you remember, as far as your performance, any directions that you got at the time? Any direction from Carpenter or that you can recall?
I just remember them telling me they wanted the downstairs scene to just be really playful and fun,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of teasing kind of a situation, nothing heavy. And then, of course, upstairs, they wanted me to just be relaxed and humming and just, what you would do after a 10-second sex scene.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I remember that. I remember that there was Deborah and I think John and maybe just the cameraman there. So it was a little scary waiting for them to get up there because I was kind of alone, knowing I'm about to be murdered,
Yeah.
waiting for all of them to get up there. And so, yeah, it was kind of spooky, but it was fun.
That does sound kind of creepy, actually, literally being alone in the bedroom, waiting for the arrival of your death scene.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like you said, it was only probably the three of them on set at that. So was it Deborah doing the stabbing at that time? I know she did Michael's hands in the kitchen. Was that her doing the stabbing in those scenes or in that shot?
It was. They didn't want a child in there
Sure.
with that. So yeah, it was just a Deborah, John, and the camera people.
Oh, I love that interview. Again, you can watch my full exclusive interview with Sandy Johnson, recorded in early 2021. It is elsewhere here on our channel, and I have put the direct link in the description of this video. I love hearing her talk about being scared sitting in the bedroom and how it was legitimately kind of scary for her, awaiting what she knew was coming. And of course, we've all watched that scene, that iconic scene, so many times. It was revolutionary, just how they shot it, and we've all heard the behind the scenes. So just to hear her input, and the fact that as rehearsed and choreographed as it all was, she says that they shot her scene twice, 2 takes, and that was all it took. And of course, the late great Deborah Hill performing the duties as Michael, actually doing the stabbing, that great iconic stabbing that we see through the clown mask. So cool and really kind of fitting, and yet another unique thing I think about this franchise, about Michael Myers, that of all the men that have played this character, be it young Michael, be it older Michael, be it whatever version of Michael, it is the one woman, the one female that has ever portrayed the character. She's the first one on screen, the very first one. Will Sanin is the first face of Michael Myers on screen. He's the first man ever to appear on screen as Michael Myers. But it is Deborah Hill, the late great Deborah Hill, co-creator of this character with John Carpenter, her hands in the kitchen and in the Judith kill. She started it all. I think that's pretty awesome, pretty cool that that it's Deborah Hill that got to kickstart all this, even before Nick and Tommy and any of that. And it was Deborah there wielding the knife. And of course, Sandy, just her story, and we talk about this elsewhere in that interview, her story is really cool because for 40 years she was removed from this franchise and she had no idea how big this franchise had gotten, how iconic her scene had become. She just didn't know. And we talk about that in that interview, that it wasn't until 2018 when they were looking to find her. And they wanted to find her for that year's 40 Years of Terror, but they also, Blumhouse and Universal and Roughhouse, they wanted to find her because they wanted her to sign off so they could use those clips of the Judith kill in Halloween 2018, which they did ultimately use because they did ultimately locate her. You guys will remember she was found in 2018, just in time to be a part of the 2018 film, and also to make her first ever convention appearance at that year's 40 Years of Terror. Those events changed her life forever, and for the last 4 years, she has been a regular on the convention circuit, give or take a little hiatus due to a pandemic here and there, but she is out there as much as Nick and James Ducourney and any of these other guys. So it is a life-changing moment for her in 2018 when she was rediscovered and brought back to Haddonfield in more ways than one. And we talk all about that in that interview as well. In fact, next week, maybe we'll share a clip where she's talking about the 2018 film, whereas this clip was all about the 78 film. Next year, we'll take a leap forward and talk about the 2018 film and Sandy's involvement with it. But you don't have to wait till then. You can watch the full interview right now at the link in the description of this video. All right, where am I at here? Where are we? There we are. Okay. Hey, everybody, we're back. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that clip. Sandy is awesome. Yes, she is, Andromeda. Yes, that picture. She took that picture, or had that picture taken on her own, and she's been taking some really cool pictures with Judith Tombstone, and now she's selling merch on her own, already autographed. You can order it online at her website. Follow her on the socials. She's amazing and one of our favorites. And looking forward to hopefully chatting with her again a little bit in Pasadena in a few weeks. All right, guys. The great Andromeda 1741 has just gifted us another $5 super chat, but it ain't super chat these next 2 months. Every penny, whether it's super chat, membership, merch, purchases, whatever it is, it's all going for one thing, and that is the HDN to H45 fund. Help get us there. I'm hoping we're going to be there. I'm planning on it kind of tentatively. It's starting to come into focus a little bit, but it's not set in stone yet. We haven't purchased plane tickets yet. We don't have hotel or anything. In 2018, we didn't stay at the main hotel, and I doubt we will this time anyway. We stayed at a much smaller, more affordable place nearby in walking distance to everything. So we'll probably do something similar this time. If it all works out, we can make it. Again, it's starting to come into focus a little bit, but still sketchy, still not confirmed, and every penny and just sending good vibes our way helps. So, for all of those reasons, pause whatever you're doing, raise one up, light one up, whatever your pleasure for Andromeda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Andromeda says, Michael Myers and friends make it all better. Long live the king. That's right, long live the king. He is the king of slashers, of horror, of Halloween. That's right. And yeah, with you guys, friends here, the Triple M crew, makes it all that much better. Thank you, Andromeda. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, check out the interview. You'll like it. Teen Wolf says, if you think about it, her scene as Judith is like the Janet Leigh scene in Psycho, the stabbing shower scene, the kill that kicked off a franchise. Very much so. Absolutely. She is our Janet Leigh in a way. Of course, Janet Leigh is in H2O, but yeah, I totally agree with that. Awesome, Andromeda. You are the best. All right. Before I get more distracted, it is getting close to midnight here on the East Coast. And with that, we are going to do some Mike Myers Monday shout-outs. And you know how it goes. We do a couple of these each week, a couple of random ones from Twitter and Instagram. But is it Twitter or is it X? I guess it's X. But it's weird because if it's X, my browser still says that I'm on twitter.com. So why is a website called X, twitter.com? Anyway, I guess these are no longer tweets from Twitter. They're posts from X or X's from X or anyway, I'm going to say from Twitter. This comes from He Went to Jared, who says good morning and shares my favorite moment from the franchise. And it is a good morning when you wake up to see that. That's how we should all rise every Monday morning, right, guys? That's how we aspire to, anyway. That's how I aspire to, try to. All right. Also from Twitter, I love this one. This one comes to us from the good folks at Halloween Verse, reminding us there's just 85 days until Halloween. Of course, that don't matter here at HDN because every day is Halloween here. That's why we don't do countdowns to Halloween so much. But in this case, I do love the image, the photo. I love Michael just patiently waiting. Although, if you're going to kill some time, kill some days, you might as well carve that pumpkin. That's a nice looking pumpkin, but it needs a face. One more from Twitter, or the platform formerly known as Twitter and now known as X, I guess. This is from Thick Myers. That's Thick, Thic Myers. Myers House, Halloween night, 78. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And yeah, the family that trick-or-treats at the Myers house together is awesome. And I love these pictures. I mean, some really cool pictures. Great job. Love it. Moving over to Instagram right now. This one was posted by Halloween Yard Haunt on 5th Street. Simple Michael Myers Monday hashtag. But I love that they even put the words in their post, in their photo. And you can see their collection there. They got some posters, some signs from Spirit. They got a few statues on display there and a mask. And a few autographs there on that H4 poster too. Very cool. Another one from Instagram today. I'm pretty sure that's still called Instagram. This one I like because it comes to us all the way from Palmerston, North New Zealand. This is Michael Audrey Myers 18 and Michael Myers Cosplay in Z. That's for New Zealand, guys. That's right. Some of New Zealand's best shape cosplayers killing it here on this Michael Myers Monday. The caption says, "The gang is all here." And one more from Instagram today. This is from the man himself, Tyler Main. Always making it a point to share some cool content on Michael Myers Monday. And for this one, I'm just going to let him tell you what this post is about.
All right, so we are here at Monster Mania, and we have the winner of the masks, the trick-or-treat mask, and the jumpsuit by Teddy, Eric McKenna. Eric.
Hey, everybody.
There you go. Hold
Yes.
that bad boy up. Look at. Do you think that jumpsuit's gonna fit you?
It'll fit. It just won't be. It'll be a little loose.
Yeah. Well,
It's
you've
a little
got your Halloween costume for this year
Absolutely.
now. There we go. You might have to roll up those ankles. So.
That's all right.
There we go. All right, so we
That's pretty cool. Tyler did a giveaway to benefit his charity. It's an anti-trafficking charity, and that was the winner. Very cool. And you guys know what to do every Monday. Use that hashtag Michael Myers Monday. Tag us on your social media platform of choice, whether it's here on YouTube, whether it is on the IG, on the Facebook, on the Threads, on the Exeter, whatever we're calling it now. Tag us and let us see your Michael Myers Monday celebrations, however they may be. You know, because sometimes we see Michael Myers Monday as like Monday creeping up on us the way Michael creeps up, but sometimes we attack Monday the way Michael attacks. So you take it as like a motivation thing. Whatever it is, whether you're sharing your cosplay or your collections or your fandom, however you celebrate it, we want to see it. All right, I'm going to turn over here to the live chat. It is now officially after midnight on the East Coast. So, but it is still Michael Myers Monday, the same way it's always Halloween here. But in any case, we are going to be signing off here in just a few minutes. Let's see what's going on in the live chat. City Kitty 865, what's up? Sliding in late, but Merry Michael Myers Monday, y'all. Hell yes, Merry Michael Myers Monday to you too. Rob, thank you, man, for tuning in. Rob says another great show. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, again, I wish I had more breaking news. I mean, again, I think these H45 updates this week all pretty significant and exciting. Again, I want to hear your thoughts. If you haven't commented, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about the guest announcements this week, what you think about the bus tour selling out, and what you think about the panel schedule so far. What do you think's up with the Curse and the H4 kicking it off both days? Am I reading too much into that? Is it? I mean, does that seem a little odd to you guys? Camp Blood, always great to be here on Triple M. Awesome night. Thank you, Camp Blood. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Yes, Kitty, you definitely want to check out that interview with Judith Myers, a.k.a. the great Sandy Johnson. In fact, yeah, we played a 7-minute clip, which is a great clip here tonight. But if you want to watch the full interview, it's about an hour long. I did put the link to the full video interview in the description of this video. So once we're done here, yeah, treat yourself and enjoy that conversation with Sandy. Again, apologies for so many ums and ahs. Like I still do here. Coming from doing interviews mostly over the phone over the years to being in the Zoom format took a little bit of adjusting. Still, like, not like I don't have a million ums and ahs and ums and ahs, but they're especially noticeable in that interview for some reason. But anyway, I'm still very proud of it. It was a great time getting to know Sandy. Finally, after all these years, watching the iconic Judith kill scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And getting lucky enough to interview so many other cast members from that original film. So to finally be able to have a conversation with her like that was awesome and amazing. And I look forward to doing it again. So thank you. And yes, definitely check that out. Andromeda says, anybody putting on a Halloween movie after this? H4 tonight. Need me some Loomis. H4's got good quality Loomis. It does. I mean, Loomis is one of the biggest highlights of H4, 5, and 6, really. I mean, and 1 and 2. I mean, let's be honest. But, yeah, you get some really good Loomis in H4 for sure. Teen Wolf says, convinced something is going to be announced about H4 and H6. There were rumors going around of something big happening this year at the convention. Yes, now I've heard or seen some rumors, I guess you could say. I watched the Halloween Lives podcast, their most recent episode. They actually were asking me in their podcast if I knew anything about announcements being made or anything at the event. I've not heard anything, but then again, I've not been digging. Obviously, I've not talked to Malik or anything. I don't have any inside scoop, so I don't know. I mean, I've seen some of the rumors, some of the headlines that you're talking about, that maybe something will be announced. Anything's possible for sure, but I would caution getting our hopes up too much for anything as far as like a new movie or even like a new TV series announcement. I just, my gut feeling tells me it's still really kind of early for that type of announcement, I think. Again, I'm not basing that on anything other than the fact that it's been less than a year since the last film was released, and we just had 3 films in a 4-year period, and I know Ends was definitely divisive for a lot of people, but I don't know that Malik's response would be let's run right into the very next project. But like I said, anything's possible, and I would not put anything past this franchise as far as what comes next and what may or may not be announced at age 45. I mean, this is the franchise I always say that they make their own rules and then they break their own rules and they do whatever they want, and they've been doing it since Halloween 3. And then they did it with Halloween 4 because that was kind of a requel of saying, forget that Halloween 3 anthology thing, let's go back to the Halloween 2 thing. And then they did it again with H2O, like, hey, forget all that stuff, let's go back to the H2 and do this requel. And then they did it again with remaking, and then they did it again with 2018 with another kind of requel. So, yeah, who knows what it could be, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not anything. But maybe, on the other hand, maybe that's like you guys are saying. Maybe that's why they've got Curse and 4 kicking off each day, because there's some announcements coming related to those. The Tommy Doyle Files starring Paul Rudd. How about that? We haven't looked at that possibility. That'd be cool. Andromeda says, meeting Mr. Longstreet would be worth going. Yeah. He's just a really good actor, and I thought he did great as adult Lonnie. Jason's hoping they revive the Thorn timeline. There's been a lot of talk about that within the fandom. I've talked about that. I asked Danielle when I interviewed her back in 2021, straight up if she'd come back to the franchise. And her answer to me at that time, and I've quoted this many times here on other Monday night Triple M live streams, but yeah, what she says was she would be into coming back to play Jamie Lloyd again. She's not interested in playing a third character in the franchise, like another character, or doing a cameo or anything like that. But if it was revising Jamie in some way, which obviously would have to be a requel in some way, she would be into that. And then there's been a lot of, fan speculation from there on. While I wouldn't mind seeing something like that personally as a fan, I think it would be cool. I try to pull back and think, well, what's Malik and Trinkus thinking, and what might they be thinking? And I don't know. I just don't know that the general audience fan who you say Michael Myers in Halloween and play that music, they know what you're talking about. But beyond that, they don't know the actors that play what. They don't know the continuity and what movies are. I just don't know how you would make something like that accessible to them. So to do it, it would kind of be in your head saying we're doing this strictly for the fans, which would be fine for us fans. But I don't know if that's a business decision that they'd want to make right now. Then again, if it was made for like a really kind of relatively small budget for Netflix or Peacock or something like that, where like it was understood that this is going to be a limited 6-episode series, and maybe if it does great, we do something else, but otherwise it's just going to be not a movie, just kind of a one-off thing, an experiment for this franchise. Maybe Jamie Lloyd would be the place. That would be the place to revisit Jamie Lloyd in some way. I don't know. I mean, again, though, I'm not getting my hopes up for an announcement like that at age 45, only because I don't want to be disappointed. And that way, if something happens, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But you guys feel free to chime in with your thoughts on all of this in the comments below, and let me know if you're going to be there in Pasadena and what you're most excited about. Teen Wolf wants to bring back Steven from age 6 and have him learn the trade from his dad. That'd be an interesting continuation. It'd definitely be interesting. Rob says, yes, sir, Matt. Always look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Again, guys, think about becoming a channel member so you can be part of our first ever members exclusive live stream coming up later this month. It's just $5 a month. And we're going to be adding some other cool perks as well. So channel members, thank you for your patience and your support. And thank you all for your support and your patience listening to me yap here. Hopefully you enjoyed some of it. I definitely enjoyed it. You guys make it worth it every single time I come on here. And I know we don't have a huge crowd. We're not getting hundreds and thousands of views. But you know what? If we were, then we wouldn't be connecting the way we are now. And I always look at it like that. Like, well, you know, the more people, number one, the more assholes we'd have. We'd have more spam comments and shit that we don't need here. Instead, we've got an intimate, cool crowd where we all know each other. We know what each other is about. We know a little bit about each other's stuff, even. You know what I mean? Because we're that intimate and that cool here. So I appreciate you guys more than ever. Subscribe if you haven't already, but I think everybody watching at this point probably has. But just in case, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a pumpkin or just something down in the comments just so IG sees more. Just so YouTube sees more engagement and so forth. That'll help get these videos out to other people because they don't really push the live streams nowadays like they used to. So every little bit helps. Yes, I love seeing it. David, thank you. Camp Blood, Kitty, Josh, all you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you all. Kitty says, thanks for all the great new merch videos this year. We're starting to get our decorations ready for display soon. I love it, Kitty. That's great. That's great. Sweet. Hey, tag us. Tag us in some videos. Tag us in your photos. For real, Kitty. Yeah. Yeah. And shoot us a DM if we don't respond. Say, hey, it's City Kitty from the Michael Myers Monday or whatever. All you guys, you know, we want to see your decorations going up, whether it's Myers related or not. If it's Myers related, might get a shout out during the live stream and feature you, but whatever it is, you know, 'tis the season because we're busting out our blow molds and stuff this week too. So it's about that time. All right, guys, this has been awesome. The countdown's on. Happy 45th to Halloween, to Michael Myers, to this whole franchise. Happy August Michael Myers Monday to you guys. It's just another day. Every day is Michael Myers Monday, the same way every day is Halloween. But, you know, we just do it up a little bit big on Mondays around here on our YouTube channel. You guys rock. All of you guys rock. You're the best. Love you guys. Until next week, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. You guys rock. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night.